Welcome, welcome, welcome. This episode is a great episode. Welcome to the next episode, please. I'm your host, Orange, and if you're anything like me, you know that the best part of your day is sitting down to watch your favorite shows. Or better yet, binge a new one that you can't stop talking about. But before we dive into today's episode, let me set the stage. On next episode, please, we take a deep dive into two shows, each episode breaking them down, analyzing the plot twists, dissecting the characters, and asking the big question, what's coming next. And for this pilot, I'm going to make sure I do just that to get you guys ready for what is to come. Are you all excited? Well, I'm going to give you guys a quick pause. I'm going to let you guys think. All right? Just think. All right, are you guys ready? So today, we're in for a real treat. We've got two heavy hitters to talk about. The first one is the most talked about dramas in recent years, FX's The Bear. If you've been living under a rock or not yet discovered the chaos of running a kitchen, well, you're in for a wild ride. And right alongside that, we're diving into HBO's Succession, a show that's been the principle of family dysfunction. Corporate drama and sharp, witty dialogue. Two very different worlds, but both of them managed to keep us glued to the screen, am I right? Anyways, let's kick it off with The Bear. I mean, if you've watched it, you know the show hit like a lightning bolt, right? We've got Carmi Brazato, a high-end Michelin-starred chef who returns to his roots to take over his late brother's sandwich shop in Chicago. Now, when we first meet Carmi, he's a broken man, struggling to maintain control of the chaos that is the kitchen and the crumbling family business. Guys, I am reading a teleprompter right now. I write these scripts before every episode and practice it so many times, and it is so hard. This is certainly not a part of the script. Anyways, yeah. No, but struggling to maintain control of the chaos that is the kitchen and the crumbling family business. The entire show feels like a pressure cooker. It's high stakes, fast paced, and yet somehow it's incredibly intimate. Now, what's fascinating is how the show doesn't just explore the kitchen as a workplace, but as a microcosm for all the dysfunction in Carmi's life. You've got the constant tension between the staff, led by the hot-headed Richie, and you've got Sydney, the bright-eyed culinary prodigy who comes in like a breath of fresh air, but also clashes with the entrenched toxic culture of the restaurant. But there's this beauty in how the show manages to balance the anger, the stress, and the humor. It's almost like watching a slow-motion explosion as Carmi tries to figure out how to juggle his personal demons, while saving his brother's legacy. But here's the thing. What really stands out in The Bear is the way the show handles mental health and burnout. The kitchen isn't just a place of food, it's a place of pure emotional pressure. Also, while you guys are listening to this, make sure you guys are taking drinks of water, because it can get very, very straightful to have to, sit here listening to somebody without being able to take some drinks of water. So I'm going to give you guys a water break. Also for myself. So, let's do a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, back into it. So, another thing that Carmi battles with is perfectionism, imposter syndrome, and grief. They are always at the forefront. And it's really powerful because it's not just, oh, he's a tortured chef. It's literally about him confronting the trauma and weight of living up to a legacy he never asked for. And also, yeah, it's crazy. And then there's the final of season 1. Oh man, without giving too much away, let's just say the last episode hits you in the gut. The way the show opens up the possibility of Carmi moving on, finally, it's a great moment, and it sets up so many potential directions for season 2. Let's be honest. I could talk about The Bear for hours, but we've got another show to dissect. Let's move to Succession, one of the most savage shows on television, literally. And also one of the best. If you're one of the few who haven't tuned in, let me quickly catch you up. The show is about the Roy family, owners of a massive media I think the word I'm looking for is like conglomerate, called Waystar. I think it's called conglomerate. I'm not actually sure, or conglomerate. It's like very just it's a very massive media business nonetheless called Waystar Rico. Thinking of it like the Murdochs or the Redstones, except with a whole lot more dysfunction and backstabbing. That's just kind of my definition. Well, it's the patriarch. Logan Roy is a ruthless billionaire who's trying to maintain control of his empire, while his children, Kendall, Sophie Roman, and Connor, all vie for power, each with their own personal demons and delusions of grandeur. This is a show where no one wins. And, well, actually, hold on. Let me show you something. You're not serious, are you? Anyways, this is a show where no one wins. At least no one wins without losing everything else first. Also, if you guys didn't just get that reference, let me basically explain that reference to you. It's Logan Roy. Like, you know Logan Roy, right? It's... I'll pull it up. Hold on. Soundboard dysfunctions, guys. Perfect. On the set. That's beautiful. You guys get to listen to my beautiful remote click. Is that very satisfying? I hope it is. Anyways, to say the very least, this is a show where no one wins. At least no one wins without losing everything else first. What makes Succession so incredible is the dialogue. The lines in the show are so sharp and witty that you can't help but laugh and cringe at the same time. It's literally biting dark humor at its finest. And it's also set against the backdrop of a business empire that could collapse at any moment. Dun dun dun! But let's talk about the characters. First of all, Logan Roy, played by Brian Cox, is a titan. He's cold, calculating, and as a patriarch, he's got this control over everyone around him. Even when he's losing his grip on everything, the way he manipulates his children, keeping them all in his constant state of emotional and professional limbo, is masterful. And the best part, you're not sure if you want him to win, or if you just want him to go down in flames. Either way, it's fascinating to watch. I think he might be at my door, chat. But anyways, let's talk about the kids. Because they're a whole other story. Kendall is this tragic figure who desperately wants his father's approval. Yet he's completely incapable of understanding what it takes to be a leader. He's self-destructive, impulsive, and honestly the kind of guy who's always just one step away from complete meltdown. Also, Soyeon, or Shiv, is a whole other ballgame. She's smart, sharp, and she's the only Roy who really seems like she might have the ability to be in charge. But let's be real, she's also just as messed up as her brothers. Her struggle to balance being a woman in a very male-dominated world with the need for validation from her father. It's tragic and compelling, which I really hate to say. But, you know. Then there's Roman. Oh, Roman. He's the comic relief in a sea of dysfunction. But don't let that fool you. Underneath all the jokes and the sarcasm, there's a lot of pain and insecurity, which makes sense. A lot of people who like to crack jokes usually are insecure. Why did the chicken cross the road, anyways? That's really the beauty of Succession. It's a show about power, yes, but it's also about the vulnerabilities. That makes these characters who they are. And let's not forget that ending. I won't spoil anything, but if you watch Season 3, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Succession knows how to keep you on the edge of your seat, and every season final brings its own jaw-dropping final moment. The last shot in Season 3, I think it still haunts me. So here's the big question, though. What's next for these two shows? Well, with The Bear, we're hoping to see Carmi's growth. Will he finally find balance, or will the chaos pull him back in? And with Succession, I think we all know that the power struggle is only going to get worse. Who will win the throne? Will Logan ever step aside? The drama is only going to escalate, and personally, I'm here for all of it. But, alright, that's all the time we've got for today. My alarm just ticked at me, and I think it's about time we go. But we will be back again at some point with more deep dives and predictions for your favorite shows. Remember, the production takes a lot for these episodes, even though this is just the series starting. It's going to start out as an audio podcast, but very, very soon we are working at it becoming a actual planned out recorded podcast here in the studio. I really hope to get this set up as soon as possible. And as always, be sure to catch the next episode because it's always worth it. Until then, keep your remote close and your watch list even closer. This is Next Episode Please, Orange signing off.